What if I told you the biggest names in MMA, McGregor, Makhachev, Jon Jones, all made headlines this week? And not for reasons you'd expect, from viral gym footage that divided the internet, to a brutal knockout in Shanghai, to a rivalry that refuses to die. The fight game didn't sleep. But if you look deeper, it's not just about what happened, it's about what comes next. Power moves, shady optics, title chess matches. The future of the UFC may have quietly shifted this week. Let's break it all down. It looked like just another gym video. Until it wasn't. A clip leaked of Conor McGregor sparring with younger fighters during a training session in Italy. At first glance, it was classic McGregor. Movement, sharp punches, intense energy. But the moment it hit social media, all hell broke loose. Fans were split. One half praised it as a real fighter giving real lessons. The other half, not so generous. Former UFC fighter Ben Askren was one of the first to slam it. "What does beating up kids do for your career?" he tweeted. "You're not proving anything." Some fans chimed in with even harsher takes. This is the first person he's beat since 2016. He's reliving old glory by sparring teenagers. Is this the comeback or a meltdown? But it wasn't all negative. Some saw it as tough love from a legend. "If you got to spar with Mike Tyson, would you want him to go easy?" One fan commented. "These kids will remember this forever." Others noted that McGregor wasn't even going full speed, just delivering hard, realistic rounds. This raises a question we've been asking for years. Is Conor still chasing gold or just clout? While the McGregor clip stirred the internet, Johnny Walker was doing damage the old-fashioned way, inside the octagon, UFC Fight Night. 257 marked the company's historic return to Shanghai, headlined by Walker versus Mingyang Zhong, a rising Chinese prospect with serious hype. Walker entered the fight clean-shaven, noticeably leaner, and sporting what fans called a Dagestani makeover. A nod to Makhachev, maybe, but whatever it was, it worked. The opening round was shaky. Walker charged out of the gate, but Zhong flipped him on his back with a swift takedown, instantly earning respect. But in round two, the script flipped. Walker went sniper mode, targeting Zhong's ankle with brutal low kicks, 3 in a row, each landing cleaner than the last. On the third, Zhong crumbled. Walker swarmed. The ref stepped in. TKO. The win snapped Walker's two-fight skid and reignited his career. For Zhong, it was a harsh debut defeat, one that proved just how brutal the step up to UFC-level competition can be. But this fight was more than just a win. It was a message. Johnny Walker isn't done yet. Elsewhere on the card, fans held their breath for a different reason. Just hours before Brian Ortega's co-main event clash with Aljamain Sterling, word spread of a serious health scare. Reports surfaced that Ortega had nearly collapsed during his weight cut. An ambulance was spotted outside the hotel. Merab Dvalishvili posted a video hinting that something had gone wrong. Some feared the fight would be pulled, but Ortega made weight, and he made it to the cage. What followed was 5 rounds of technical, grinding action. Sterling controlled the pace, outpointed Ortega, and earned a unanimous decision. But the win wasn't celebrated. Boos echoed through the arena. Fans weren't happy. And neither were fighters. Many believed Ortega shouldn't have fought at all. This wasn't about scoring, it was about safety. The dangers of extreme weight cutting are well known, yet still under-addressed. And once again, a fighter came terrifyingly close to disaster. The question remains, when will the UFC take action? For months, fans have been fantasizing about a blockbuster super fight. Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria, 2 champions, 2 undefeated monsters, 1 iconic showdown. The story was writing itself. If Makhachev beats Jack Della Maddalena and captures the welterweight strap, Topuria wants to move up for a 3rd title. But now, that script just got burned. At a recent press conference in Dagestan, Makhachev addressed the speculation and shut it down. "If I win at welterweight," he said, "I'll go back to lightweight. I want my belt back." He also responded to a fan who asked if he'd go down and smash Topuria. Makhachev's response, cold. That's exactly what will happen. Just like that, the Topuria dream got a rude wake-up call. Makhachev made it clear, he's playing chess, not fantasy. And unless Dana White makes the fight happen himself, Ilya's dream may be on ice for a long time. But if Topuria isn't the next threat, who is? One name lingered in the air, Khamzat Chimaev. When asked about facing Khamzat, Makhachev gave a diplomatic answer. I don't want to create tension between our nations, he said, but I'll fight whoever the UFC puts in front of me. Read between the lines, he didn't say no. Makhachev versus Chimaev would be one of the biggest matchups in UFC history. Dagestan versus Chechnya, grappler versus grappler. And two fan bases that bring fire and fury. They've never trained together, they've never talked trash, but the silence only adds to the tension. If Makhachev wins welterweight gold and Khamzat keeps rising, this fight becomes inevitable. The only question is, will it be business or personal? Meanwhile, Jon Jones reminded everyone that even when he's sidelined, he's still the most talked about man in MMA. After Daniel Cormier took a shot, saying Jones lives rent-free in his head, Jon fired back with surgical precision. I didn't say I lived in your house, he tweeted. Even though I could, I said I built a mansion in your head. Boom. But this wasn't just trolling. Jones also gave a rare update. He's recovering well from surgery, getting stem cell treatment, and preparing for a return. He didn't give a date. He didn't give a name. But he made one thing clear. I'm coming back to finish my story like a badass. And if that comeback includes another clash with Cormier, inside or outside the cage, you know fans will be watching. Let's circle back. The McGregor sparring footage wasn't just about intensity. It reignited the debate. Is Conor still serious about fighting? He's teased returns. He's shared footage. He's stayed in the gym. But fans are growing skeptical. One side believes he's preparing for a 2025 return. The other side thinks this is just noise. No bookings, no contracts, no opponents, just clips, interviews, flash. But even in silence, McGregor dominates the headlines. Because love him or hate him, the world still watches. And that's power. Let's not overlook one of the biggest shifts this week. UFC's return to China. Fight night 257 wasn't just another card. It was a statement. The UFC wants Asia, big time. And Walker versus Zong was the test. Sellout crowd, high production, local heroes. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. Expect more events in Shanghai, more Chinese fighters signed, and a push to develop training hubs across Asia. Why? Because Dana White knows the next wave of superstars may not come from Vegas, but from places fans haven't even heard of yet. So what just happened? McGregor sparked another firestorm. Walker came back from the dead. Ortega survived a weight cut scare. Makhachev slammed the door on Topuria. Khamzat looms. Jones is healing. And the UFC set its sights on Asia. But the question is, what happens next? Will Topuria break through? Will Khamzat and Islam finally meet? Will Jon Jones reclaim his throne? Or is Conor McGregor just keeping his name in lights? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you made it this far, hit that like button. Smash subscribe. Because this isn't just a fight recap. It's a front row seat to the chaos of combat sports. Stay locked in.